Thank you, Ringo. Thank you, too.
Thank you, Singing Cucumbers.
Steve, I am in a heap of hurt.
No, a heap of hurt. Hee-haw! What, were you born in a barn?
As a matter of fact, I was in New Jersey.
Now, I know you're lying because there are no barns in New Jersey. They are against the law there. But be that as it may, Buck Owens, what's got you in a heap of hurting, as you put it?
Well, yesterday I had my second vaccine, and they warn you could have some side effects from that.
Yeah, so I don't see anything different about you, sadly.
I was fine up until bedtime. You know, all systems go, business as usual. You know, I brushed my teeth. I had a massive bowel movement. Spent 10 minutes on the bidet, changing some clean jammies, and was off to dreamland.
Yeah, it's a wonderment how similar our nighttime routines are to each other, you and I. It's incredible. Well, except for the toothbrushing, that part. And the hovering over the bidet, and the clean jammies. So that's
Anyway, this morning, Steve.
Yeah.
Look, you are not going to believe this. I woke up with Hulk hands.
Holy Lou-ferrigno, Bill Bixby!
I know.
Will you look at those? Those are some mighty big fists of green.
I don't know what to do, Steve. I won't be able to turn the pages. We're screwed. I can't even hold the script.
I've got the solution, Boy Wonder. Here, put your fist in there.
What is it?
It's a bowl, numbnuts. I kept one on hand just in case something like this should ever happen. Yeah, here we go.
What's that?
It's Palmolive dishwashing liquid.
Dishwashing liquid?
Yes, it's just by its very name, it's ideal for situations such as this.
Well, how do you figure that?
The name, Palmolive. Okay, 50% of your hand is what? A palm. Olive is the color of green of those big old Hulk mitts of yours.
Yeah. Wow. Is it mild?
Oh, it's more than just mild. You know you're soaking in it now.
Yeah, I know. I saw you squirt it all over my big old fists, numb nuts. Look, I'm no doctor, Steve, but shouldn't we add some water?
You're right, Dave. You are no doctor, but there is no water that's needed. Trust me. I used to be a medical courier. Now, just swish your hands around in there for a little bit. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my God, that feels so much better. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's a miracle to have my hands back.
And I am sure that they are just as soft and supple as any other news anchor's paws could be. Brokaw, Jennings, Cosell. Now, partner, what do you say we entertain the masses?
Well, maybe we should just do our show.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Hello and welcome to this week's Chamber of Comedy Week in Review. I'm Dave Hanwright.
And I'm Steve Burnett. And this week's update is brought to you by Maine Repertory Theater and Pauline Provencher's Piercing Pagoda. If you have skin that needs a hole, visit Pauline's Piercing Pagoda, located on the pier in Newfields Beach. They'll poke a hole in just about anything and rated 54% infectious-free for 3 years running. Dave?
3 years, Steve. You know, I don't have any piercings yet. Do you, Steve?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I can't see any.
No, you can't, David.
Speaking of holes, maple tree tapping season came and went recently without much of your typical hullabaloo, festivals, or parades, likely due to the COVID restrictions or people simply forgot. However, this year's harvest did manage to produce some of the sweetest syrup in history, according to those close to the maple tree tapping industry. Other treats created with the sweet sap include hard candy,
Yum.
maple nuts, and maple-flavored fudge.
Yowza.
And in response to the COVID pandemic, a new creation was introduced this year, the maple-flavored face mask.
Oh, I'm getting cavities just thinking about that, Dave.
I hear you, Steve.
You know, I'm good every year for at least 3 or 4 quarts of that lovely, luscious, golden syrup. But I have to admit, sometimes it's really hard to wash it out of the pillows.
Coming up, following a dramatic 8-minute separation, a grandfather and his dentures are reunited at the Silver Fork All-You-Can-Eat Buffet.
After this word from the Push Pin Warehouse. Need a push pin? Choose a veritable calliope of push pins in just about every color under the sun, with special bulk push pin discounts. Just don't take them home in a bag.
And we're out. 60 seconds. Thank you, 60. Steve, what are you looking for?
My laptop. My laptop is missing. I don't know what I did. I've been looking for it for weeks. I don't know if I lost it or if I accidentally dropped it off at some computer repair shop while I don't know. I just don't know where it's at.
I'm sure it'll turn up.
Why are you laughing?
Well, nothing. It's just that when you said you were hunting for your laptop, I just have you pictured dressed as a hunter, biding your time, fumbling with the big old shotgun, waiting for that elusive laptop to just kind of stumble by.
That's quite an immediate imagination you have there, young buckaroo. You don't think that I can bag a wild animal, do you?
Steve, you can't score ground beef in the supermarket without missing your cart. Why the desperation for the laptop anyway?
It had some stuff on it, some top secret stuff.
From your days as a medical courier.
Yes, from them. Yes.
Well, I hate to rush you, but we got to be back in 10 seconds, so you might want to start looking for it after the news.
I remember where it is now. It's in one of the cabinets in the studio kitchen.
Which cabinet?
The one where we keep the china.
And we're back in a continuing effort to raise awareness of the benefits of aquatic life's carbon finprint on society while alleviating their otherwise ferocious stigma. Producers of the popular business pitch investment show Shark Tank have created a new version called Shark Tank! No, really, Shark Tank! Where entrepreneurs vie for financial backing from our panel of regular money experts. Only now the entire show takes place inside a large aquarium surrounded by a family of great whites.
Wow, that is great television, chum. Yeah, good for them for turning it into a family show. That's great news. In other news, with small businesses everywhere making necessary cuts just to keep their doors open during this pandemic, some mom and pop storefronts are learning they may have taken just a few too many shortcuts.
Case in point, Jimmy and Belinda Thorb's Wax Museum is taking a serious hit as the couple decided they needed to cut back on the central air conditioning to save money on the skyrocketing utility costs.
And as a result, the one-time 6'7" majestic wax likeness of the town's mayor, Max Patriot, has melted down to the point of confusing museum visitors, wondering why they paid such big bucks to look at a puddle of crayons.
And the wax statue of our hometown's own favorite Hollywood star made good, Marilyn Boudreau, has melted to just a simple candle in the wind.
We, of course, wish the Thorbs the very, very best of luck. Yes, they're wonderful people. Yeah, both born without ankles, too. A lot of people don't know that about them, Dave. Do you think they'll ever create a wax figures of you and me?
Well, the two of us.
Yeah.
Maybe if they put it in an oddities wing.
Great point. And now, with another thought-provoking edition of Things I Learned the Hard Way, please don't ask me how. Here's Dave.
Thank you, Steve. Recently, I learned that when the local mail and shipping store sells me a very large bag of packing peanuts, they are meant for cushioning the contents of my packages and as inviting as they may appear, as hungry as I may be, that's pretty much where I should stop, Steve.
All right. So, Dave, I learned that same lesson, the very same lesson the hard way. But I did figure this out. If you drink about a gallon of ginger ale right away, those little puppies are going to shrivel up and eventually make their way south and exit, if you catch my drift. So just be patient.
You know, the fact that this is something you did as well makes it all the more humiliating for me.
Now, you were going to say hard to swallow, weren't you? I'm glad I could help.
The contentious trial of a local tattoo shop accused of needling the incorrect name on the lower back of our town librarian has entered day 3 with no end in sight. As you may recall, Miss Candy Hills is suing the Inky Pinky for defamation of character, while the tattoo parlor is countersuing for failure of payment.
With no photographers allowed inside the courtroom, our very own Dave Hanwright was able to capture all the action firsthand. Because when he's not here stumbling through the news, Dave serves as the district court's resident sketch artist. Attorney for the Inky Pinky, Rob Finch, spent 2 hours drilling Miss Hills in Judge Taylor's courtroom, asking her if the 4 previous names in the same general location of her back might have led to some understandable confusion on the part of the ink artist. Mr. Finch summed up, addressing the jury, that if all parties involved were patient enough, perhaps that incorrect name may eventually be the correct name after all. Dave, this is just my keen journalistic observations talking here, but everyone in your drawings appeared to be naked.
I ran out of time.
I knew you had your reasons. Why did I even bring it up?
And now, with a personal note, here's Steve.
Thanks, Dave. If you haven't had the chance yet, I urge you to catch our Easter special from the previous week. Within that update, we presented the soon-to-be famous Easter story called The A-Hole Who Stole Easter. And yes, while the Pulitzer-worthy fable was penned by yours truly, the real credit and kudos for the anticipated instant success of that tale goes to our one and only David Hanwright for his incredible artsmanship. You see, Dave creates all the graphics for our updates, but last week he was tasked with the challenge of illustrating the prize-wanting masterpiece with just 3 days' time. And well, he hit it out of the ballpark. Not physically, mind you, because a book can't travel that far when hit by a baseball bat. This I know. But Dave, I thank you. Our viewers thank you. The world thanks you. And yes, even Easter thanks you. So there may have indeed been an a-hole that tried to steal this Easter. But this a-hole wants to thank Dave for saving Easter.
Thank you, Steve. I can't believe how little time you spent talking about yourself.
There's always next week.
And that's this week's Chamber of Comedy Week in Review. If you like whatever this is, please tell all your friends, follow us on Facebook, and subscribe to us on the YouTube. Until next week, I'm planning on dressing like Dave Hanwright.
And these shirts only fit me, Steve Burnett. Thank you for joining us. And remember, when news breaks out, so do we. Thank you.
And good night. That went well, I thought.
Dave, I think we need to find more ways to exploit your artistic skills here.
Oh, thank you, Steve. You know, I really appreciate that.
I was thinking, how about life-size nudes of the two of us right behind us in front of these black curtains? You know, tasteful, of course.
Of course. What are you thinking? Like a charcoal or oil, acrylic, just pencil, or like stippling, pointillism? A lot of people think those are the same thing. They're really
Oh,
not.
I know, don't I know that? No, I was thinking more like, I don't know, finger painting.